so important to us, which is living a non-toxic life and all things about hormone health, which I'm so excited about. I was just like off camera with her, and I had to say that her skin looks amazing, by the way. I had to say
Thank
that because
you.
it's just, I always
Thank
love
you.
talking to people who are a living proof of what they are. It's my dog, so that's a proof that we are alive. So, hi Candice, how are you?
Hi. Thanks for having me over.
That's all right. So, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your journey to get to where you are now?
Yeah. So when I was younger, I struggled a little bit with hormonal acne. So it was more so um, acne around my jaw area. And I never really questioned that my lifestyle and that my hormone health could have a role into this, and actually like a pretty important role.
Mhm.
So I went for a couple years going to a dermatologist, and I was prescribed creams. I don't even know what was in there, but
Yeah,
they worked, but I could feel that they were destroying my skin.
yeah.
And I want to say a couple years ago, like 2 to 3 years ago, I decided to get off of those creams. And I had seen on like social media, like we all see that to have like a good skin and to be healthy, you have to use all these products and you have to purchase all these items and have all of these things. So that's exactly what I did. I had this super complex skincare routine and it wasn't doing my skin any good. And that was
Wow.
for like the skincare part, but also in other areas of my life, like health and wellness in general. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of when I dove into like, living a non-toxic lifestyle, but also living a minimal lifestyle where we use the bare essentials
Mhm.
with the most basic ingredients that nourish us rather than deplete everything out of our skin, everything out of our lives. So
Yes.
yeah, and then I decided like since I stopped doing anything to my skin, I only use water and moisturize with beef tallow. I decided I wanted to share that on social media and also educate about hormone health and living a non-toxic lifestyle. So yeah, it's pretty much
Wow, that's
it.
incredible. So
Yeah,
tell us a
thank
little bit.
you.
I can imagine there's lots of people growing up, and not only in teenager years, but I also understand that there is some adults that get that same type of acne, right? Like I had few family members that had that. I remember, and the creams and sometimes even the pills that they take are pretty strong. They're steroid based, and they destroy not only the outside but also the inside of our bodies. And like you said,
Mhm.
like say it wasn't helping you could feel that was destroying your skin. Was it what was happening?
So I when I was on the cream, my skin was like when I was on the cream, it was perfect. I had no acne, all my acne went away. So I was like, this is great. But my skin was also at the same time very, very dry. So that
Yeah.
was kind of like my hint of being like, maybe we should stop this cream. It's doing something. And when I went off of it, a couple months later, I had like huge rashes around my mouth. Dermatologists were telling me it was different things, psoriasis, dermatitis, all these things, and they were prescribing me different creams to treat that. That was just I guess my cue that I was gonna go away from using these creams and instead use just the basic nourishing ingredients.
So basically taking
Yeah.
one medication and you're having a side effect, and then you go back to the doctor, there is another
Yeah.
medication that's going to give you another side effect, and then
Yeah.
you go back
Yeah.
and then you keep on that
Yeah.
loop, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that just shows that those creams, maybe they treat one problem, but they're so harsh and they're so aggressive that they can cause a bunch of other issues.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And did you suffer any other issues, like anything else that was going on in your body as well as a result of using those medications?
Uh, that those creams, no, but I did I feel like a lot of women used to struggle or still do struggle with hormone imbalances and digestive issues, and those both of those are like extremely linked. So I
Yeah.
did have that was separate from my skin, but I did suffer from a little bit of those issues when I was younger as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit about like what do you do now? I mean, there is so many. it talks about, you need to clean your skin every day with this product, and you need to then put, some sort of other product, and then you
Yeah.
put the
Yeah.
moisturizer on, and, by the
Yeah.
time you leave home, you have been already exposed to about 16 different toxic products. I've read on a
Yeah.
research. I mean, tell us a little bit about your skin routine now.
So actually, my favorite thing about my favorite thing to say on social media is actually to not promote a product or to not promote buying something, but actually to take things out of our routine. I feel
Mm,
like usually when we go onto media, we'll see an influencer or someone telling us, buy this, do that, it helped me with this, it helped me with that, you need this, you need that. But I actually think that minimizing and really using the bare minimum, I feel like I keep saying that word, is
yes.
really like the thing that can be the most helpful. So for me right now, my skincare routine, in the morning and at night, it's very similar. I'll just splash my face with some water, kind of get off. Just in the morning, I like it because it kind of wakes me up, and at night, I like to use a little bit of warmer water so
Mhm,
that my serum or my moisturizer, which is beef tallow, can better absorb into my skin.
mhm.
So yeah, that's what I do. Splash my face with water, moisturize with beef tallow, and then on some mornings I also like to dry brush, which just helps to exfoliate my skin.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
that.
pretty much
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some of your videos on TikTok, and I'm definitely going to watch a little bit more detail so I can start doing that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is beef tallow?
So beef tallow is actually a byproduct of beef. So usually in the farming industry, when the animal is killed, its meat is used to be eaten, right? And there's also byproducts, which is the suet. It's called the suet, which is kind of like thrown away. It's not consumed by the general population. And then from that suet, there's a couple of processes. You have to filter it. I think you have to heat it up. I've never made my own. I just know
Mhm.
that there's a couple of processes. And then you end up with beef tallow. And it's actually a really nourishing ingredient that we can put on our skin just because it's bioidentical to our sebum. So it makes it really compatible with our skin. And it does that without clogging our pores. And it's extremely rich in moisture. Like when you put it on, it's very, very hydrating. It's also really rich in vitamins and a bunch of other nutrients that are good for our skin.
Awesome, awesome. And that's literally all you do. Like in the morning, you put that on after you clean with water, and then in the evening, and that's it.
Yeah, on the days so I like to wear makeup. I don't wear makeup daily, but on the days where I do wear makeup in the evening, I'll remove it with some kind of oil. Again, I don't want to use like a soap, like something with soap or to remove my
Yeah,
makeup. So I'll use an oil. This can be jojoba oil, argan oil,
yeah.
even coconut oil sometimes for my eyes. I'll just kind of rub it between my hands on my face, take the makeup off, and then with a warm washcloth, I'll remove all the excess makeup that didn't come up with the water and the oil. And
Yeah.
yeah, it leaves my
Wow.
skin really just not stripped of anything, just really hydrated and moisturized.
Amazing, amazing. And do
Yeah.
you think for the hormone health side of things, of course, a lot of the skin related issues that people have can be related to hormones. Um,
hmm
did you do anything that else outside of this skincare routine to
hmm
balance as well whatever was going on or in your body?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, like I said, when I was much younger, I struggled with hormonal acne. So with that, I what really helped is focusing more on the foundations of my health. So things like nutrition, sleep, exercise, just really the basics of our health. And then lately, in the past like 2 to 3 years of my life, when I struggled with more like topical acne. I think it's called subclinical acne. So that
Okay.
was like the excess sebum coming mainly from using overcomplicated skincare routines, but
Okay.
also something I found that really helped was reducing my stress. And I know it's so like we
Mm,
hear this everywhere that stress is bad, we have to reduce our stress. And it's kind of like, well, how do I do it? And something that really helped me was really slowing down like instead of waking up in the morning and just immediately being like go 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 and having my to-do list in my head and rushing to, you know, get to wherever I have to go or do whatever I have to do, just taking like the first hour after I wake up and try and make that hour just slow, just
Mhm.
peaceful, kind of not rushing everywhere. That really helped me to manage my stress. And stress is really linked to our sebum production. So I
Mhm.
noticed a pretty big impact with that as well.
Wow, amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
And what do you do to slow down in the morning for that hour?
So one thing, I don't check my phone. I I try and not look at my phone. I also It's hard because usually when I wake up, I already know what I have to do during the day from, you know, the day before my to-do
Yeah.
list. I try as much as I can and not do that and not think about it, and I try and make myself like a good breakfast. Take the time to make myself a good breakfast and just, you know, doing something with my hands and cooking just helps me think of something else than the different things that I have to be doing.
Yeah, amazing. And when you talk about like the exercise and the nutrition, did
Mhm.
you actually change that quite dramatically as well? Like when you know, it's so basic, like you said, and everybody
Mhm.
knows that, but the reality is most people are not doing, and that's why people are so sick these days, right? Because they are not doing the
Mhm.
basics right. And I love that you talk about the basics because that's what I do as well. It's all basic, right? Like it's the minimum.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
go down to the bare minimum. Stop like trying to overcomplicate things, right?
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
you do in regards to, for example, you know, if you can
Yeah.
talk about a few
Yeah.
things on the diet and a few things about the exercise as
Yeah.
well.
But it's so interesting you say that because, like I said, I think now every time we go onto social media, we're being told to buy something, but what has the biggest impact on our health is the foundations. And you
Yeah,
can't buy sleep, you can't buy nutrition. Well, you can buy supplements, but you can't, like, you have to keep it like super simple, like whole foods and good sleep, go to bed early. Those things you can't buy any products for. There's no quick fix. You really have to focus on the foundation.
yeah.
But, sorry,
You are
what
so right.
was the
Yeah,
rest
you
of
know,
the
you're so
question?
right about that. And I think that's an important point. And you know, I can see that you are like a lot younger than me, and I so value you having this voice in the world these days because I think people that are in their 20s, they are being bombarded with things that, you know, I wasn't bombarded with those things, right? Like
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that we didn't even have social media back then.
Mhm.
You know, and this idea that you're going to buy one thing and then all your problems are going to go away, right? Like you just buy this product,
Yeah,
you know, even the
yeah.
supplements, you know, you said it that you can buy supplements, but yeah, I know I have spoken to people who are taking $2,000 worth of supplement monthly and they still feel
Mhm.
like crap, you know, because
Yeah,
they're not doing the foundations right. But it
yeah,
also
yeah.
sounds like what the message that we have, it's simple, but yet, you know, it requires people to do something. And that's where the
Mhm.
tricky thing
Yeah,
is, right? How did you
yeah.
change your mindset to realizing that, well, you know, I'm not going to go somewhere to a doctor or to whatever and delegate my health to them because clearly this is not working for me. I
Uh-huh.
need
Yeah.
to, you know, I need to take full responsibility and I need to start taking different action.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
was, when do you think you had that mindset shift?
I think from ironically from social media, I did find some people on Instagram that were kind of living this non-toxic way, and I was hearing this sentence a lot that you can't buy a product for a quick fix. You really have to do do the basics, focus on the basics of your health, and
Mm,
that's gonna have such a more a bigger impact on your health. So I guess that's when I kind of started thinking, maybe I should. And like for example, for me, I was like for sleep, I was sleeping 8 hours a night, but it wasn't necessarily the good quality sleep. I wasn't
mm,
necessarily going to bed early, and just switching that had such
yeah.
yeah, like such a huge impact on my health. And I
Yeah.
think they're the things that are really overlooked because of course, it's easier said than done, but going to bed early and doing things to have that good quality sleep is free. You don't necessarily need to take extra time out of your day. And it's really kind of getting out of the mindset that we need some kind of product to get a good sleep or we need some kind of product to wake up in the morning and feel refreshed. But no, it's really the basics of our health.
But when you talk about like you saw this on Instagram, you still had to do something, right? That there is so many people that are scrolling away and they know all
Mhm.
the answers, they know everything, but they're
Mhm.
still not doing the actual work, right? Like, when do
Oh,
you
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, when do you
Yeah.
think you actually had that feeling of that mindset shift to think, you know what, like I need to do something. Like I can
Mhm.
scroll, on Instagram for forever, but
Yeah.
this is not going to change my life, right? I think that
Mhm.
there's so many people like that they keep scrolling and not taking any
Mhm.
action, which of course, the social media is there to get people hooked on those,
Mhm.
watch more videos, and before you know, you spend the first hour of your morning,
Yeah.
wasting, looking after yourself, and on social media, you spend 3 hours, in your evening, instead of going to bed early, watching more videos about what you should do, but you're still not doing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
Yeah.
made you actually go like,
Mhm.
what, I am
Yeah.
going to do this?
Yeah. So, like, in the sense that people kind of know that those things are important, but they're not doing them,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Um, I I don't wanna say forcing myself, but it's really impactful because just one good night of sleep makes you feel so good that you wanna keep doing it, and eating proper nourishing meals. You eat one and you realize you feel good, so you wanna keep doing it, and I think it's just forcing yourself to try it at least once or
Yeah.
twice, and then automatically feel better, so you wanna continue doing it.
That's amazing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And would you say as well, you kind of have got to a point where you have had enough of this situation of going to doctors and not getting, and being in this kind of like vicious
Mhm.
circle, or cycle
Mhm.
of not solving your problem, and still keep, maybe getting the problem like worse and worse?
Mhm. Yeah.
Would you say
Like,
that you're in that place as well, going like, I can't keep going like this?
yeah, yeah, I think I realized that, going to the doctors and the medical system, there's some very good parts, like, it's very good that we're very lucky to have access to that, to have
Mhm.
access to this type of care, but I think we're overusing it,
Mhm.
and we're using it to treat all of our simple little health issues, but again, the basics of our health, that's what they're here for. We don't need a cream, we don't necessarily need medication all the time. We can really try and focus on the little things first, tweaking like our health habits and everything. I think that can have such a better impact for us immediately, but also on the long run for our health,
Ama
rather than taking a cream or taking a supplement or taking a pill or something like that.
Yeah, I think what you said is so important. It's such a powerful way you've said it. We are overusing it.
Mhm.
We are just not taking, into consideration that, there is a massive part of it that is our responsibility. It's not the
Yeah.
responsibility, right? Like,
Yeah.
doctors are not
Yeah.
going to come and cook for you and feed you and get
Yeah.
you up in the morning to go and exercise, right? So
Yeah.
that's such a powerful way to put it. You're overusing.
Mhm.
What would you say it is the biggest challenge that people at your age group are facing, um, when it comes to health?
I think really just getting out of the mindset that purchasing one item or one product will make you healthier and will also fix your issues. I see it a lot in the supplement industry
Yes.
where someone can they know they're not eating too well, but in their minds, since they're taking supplements, it makes them healthy.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true. Number one, because if you can get all of your nutrients and proper nutrition from whole foods, you don't necessarily need a supplement for that. Unless, there's extreme cases, if you got your blood work done or you have a certain type of condition, but for the general population, we don't need supplements. We can get all of our adequate nutrition from whole real foods.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, especially in my generation, where we're bombarded with, buy this, do that, you need this, take this supplement looks cool, this supplement will give you that. I think we need to like get out of the mindset that, yeah, purchasing a product will quick fix our issue.
Yeah, wow. It's interesting you say that, because I am 44 and I see that in my generation. And of course, if you were talking about that, it looks like the supplement industry has caught up on this thing for even the younger generation, which is yeah, which is it's very sad, because of course they are in for the money. They are not a non-regular industry. And I think that, of course, people that are growing up with that mentality at a younger age, again, like, we were not sold that when I was 20s, like
I
we were
know.
not sold that.
Sometimes I ask my mom if she knows of a certain product that was so common for me to use, and she's like, "What is that?"
Yeah, like, and yeah, it's but of course, like if you grow up thinking like that, it's almost like a way that they're doing, like, to brainwash like a whole generation. You need this to to do that. And like you said, you don't need that, because for me, in the same way, I do feel, like you said, that you can get all nutrients from a good whole foods diet, and I have blood checks often, and there is nothing wrong with my bloods. And there's
And
a
it
lot.
saves you so much money too.
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah. And and like I said, I see so many people that are taking a lot of supplements, but they still feel like crap, and somehow they convince themselves that because they're doing that, they are healthy or healthier. So it's very interesting that you say that. What about in regards to skincare? Do you think, like, there is also this idea that you have to wear products? I know that a lot more younger, especially women, are doing a lot of, like, fillers and Botox and all of those things as well, for their skin to keep young. Or maybe no, I'm not sure, because I wouldn't do anything like that. Like, it just surprises me that they still do that. But well, what do you see this message coming across to your generation as well? Like,
I think it's kind of sad because we've demonized aging, and we've kind of labeled it as we don't want to age. Aging is bad, but I don't think that's true, and I don't think that's how our ancestors used to live. Like, they didn't live like that 200 years ago. The older people, they were praised. People went to them for their knowledge and everything, and aging was seen as something that was beautiful and was a normal part of life. And I think now we're so focused on trying to go against it. And in skincare, like you said, you can find anti-wrinkle creams, anti-aging this, or Botox, or all of those things. But I know that like that's what's ingrained in our minds. I try and think that, when I'll be older, I will have wrinkles, and that's okay. That's a normal part of life, and aging is inevitable. So
yeah,
I'm not going to try and spend my money and inject my body of all these products to try and go against the inevitable. So I
yeah.
think that's kind of this mindset that we have to
To
put into our heads a little bit more.
Yeah. That's yeah, so good, and such an important yeah, kind of mindset as well, and point of view from somebody who is so young. Because I mean, I must say, it's a little bit hard for me to even understand why somebody who is in their 20s will feel their, like, faced
Yeah.
with things
Yeah.
that I'm not sure where it comes from even.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
or the long term, because there will
That
be, there
yeah.
will definitely
Yeah.
be one long term,
Yeah.
and I don't think
And
both.
it's such a recent discovery, so you don't really know what
Yeah,
the long-term effects are. Like, you don't really
yeah,
know what you're gonna look like in 40 years with
yeah.
Botox.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
Candice, how can people reach out to you or follow you? I know that you have a
Mm,
great, a very powerful presence on TikTok, and I'll
thank
add
you.
your
Yeah.
links below. Is
Mhm.
there any other way that people can reach out to you?
No, besides TikTok, my TikTok handle is just, at Thrive with Candice. That's the only platform that I'm currently on. I want to get onto Instagram, but maybe in the next couple of months, but for now, just TikTok, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well,
Yeah,
thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate
yeah.
and your knowledge as
Thank you
well.
so much for letting me come on here. I love talking about this topic, so.
Yes, no, thank you so much for your wisdom in such young age and for sharing your experience
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Thank you, and it's so
Okay.
good that you're doing this too, spreading the message, so.
Yes, together we can, we're kind of bringing awareness to,
Mhm.
one person at a time. I think it's, like I said, I am really proud of you because you are a living proof. Look at
Oh,
your skin; it's incredible and it's beautiful. And you are here
thank
to say that
you.
you don't
Mhm,
wear, you don't put anything that it's
mhm,
a product here and that in every way to get to
mhm,
where we are now.
mhm,
I think that is very, very
mhm.
important.
I could say the same about you and with your journey, your health journey. So that's proof for everybody.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Candice.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
See you.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Bye.